Hello, I'm Shravanti from CSC department, working as an assistant professor in Gokaraju Engineering College. In this video, we'll learn about conditional statements in C language. The conditional statements are also known as branching statements, and these are the different variants of the conditional statements. They are simple if conditional statement, if else conditional statement, nested if else conditional statement, and else if ladder. So these conditional statements, based on certain situations, we may need to execute a block of code when a certain condition is true. Otherwise, we may need to execute some other block of statements. Such activity is known as a branching activity, and it is realized with this simple if condition or if else statement or nested if else statement. The syntax is very pretty simple. If followed by the condition, and then set of statements are included called as a statement block, and this is the last statement known as a statement X. In this syntax, if is the keyword, and this condition may be a relational expression or a logical expression. First, how this syntax is evaluated: if followed by the condition is checked by the compiler. If the condition is true, then this set of statements are executed. When the condition fails, then there are no statement to execute in the simple if statement, and the statement X is not related to the, it is not dependent on the if condition. The statement X executes irrespective of the condition. If the condition is true, then the statement block is executed. After finishing this set of statements execution, then statement X is executed. When the condition fails, then the statements in the statement block are not executed. Anyhow, statement X will be executed. So this statement X is does not belong to the simple if condition. And now we'll see the flowchart of this simple if statement, the same thing which I have explained in the syntax. So this condition can be written using a symbol. In the flowchart, we have to use a rhombus symbol to check the condition. If it is true, then statement block is executed. Okay, otherwise then statement X. So here is a simple program which will demonstrate reading age and finding a person is retired or not. And we generally know the age of a person for retirement may be 58 or 60. Just I have taken 58. So reading input as an age. If the age is greater than or equal to 58, then we are going to display the person is retired. For example, the input is 63, then we can say that the output of the program is person is retired. The main drawback of the simple if statement is, as I said, if the condition is true, then we are having some block of statements. Otherwise, we don't have block of statement to execute when the condition fails. This we can overcome with this if else statement. The syntax of if else condition is, if followed by the condition, then this block of statements are called as true statement block, and this block of statements are called as false statement block. In this syntax, if else are called as keywords, and the statements included in between the curly braces are called as a true statement block, and these true statements are executed when the condition is true, and the false statements which are present in these else curly braces executes when the if condition fails. However, statement X is the last statement. When it comes to an end, that statement X will be executed. So this is the flowchart of if else statement followed by condition. As we discussed, the condition will be present in this rhombus. If it is true, then true statement blocks are executed. If the condition fails, then false statements will be executed. It is a simple program which illustrates finding the maximum of two numbers. So reading two numbers and finding the maximum among the two numbers. So this program I will be executing, and I'll show the output. So in this program, to find a maximum of two numbers, three variables are declared, a, b and max. Then reading two values, storing two values in a and b, and to find the greatest of two numbers, we have to compare those two numbers by using a relational operator greater than symbol. So checking whether a value is greater than either b or not. If it is true, then that if a value is greater than b, then that a value is assigned to max. If a value is not greater than b, then definitely b will have a greater value, that b value is assigned to max. So when the condition is true, this statement executed. When the condition fails, comes to else part, and the statement under else will be executed. So finally, max is a variable which is going to store the maximum value among the two numbers. So when the condition fails, this statement, when the condition is true, then this statement will be executed. Then finally, the maximum number will be displayed. So now let me compile this program and show you the output. So it is asking to enter two numbers. So 34 and 67 are the two values. So if you check the output, among 34 and 67, 67 is the maximum value. So this is about the finding maximum of two numbers. So next we'll learn about nested if else statement. So the syntax of nested if else statement: if followed by the condition 1, so nested if means an if statement present inside another if condition is known as the nested if else statement. Okay, so how this nested if else statement is evaluated? We can see that we can write three conditions: if condition 1, condition 2, and condition 3. So here, if condition 1 is true, then condition 2 is also checked by the compiler. If both condition 1 and condition 2 are true, then these statements are executed. Suppose if condition 1 is true and condition 2 fails, then it comes to the else part, then this statement is executed, evaluated by the compiler. And if condition 1 only fails at the beginning, then it comes to the else part. This else belongs to the first if condition, comes to the else part, and your third condition is checked by the compiler. If it is true, then this statement is executed. If this condition 3 fails, then this statement is executed. This is how the syntax of nested if else statement works. So we know that if else are the keywords, and this is the flow, exactly what I have explained there: condition 1, condition 2, and condition. If condition 1 is true and it checks cross-checks condition 2, if both the conditions are true, then statement 1 is executed, or else condition 1 is true and condition 2 fails, then statement 2 is executed. If condition 1 itself fails, then we are going to check the condition 3. If it is true, then statement 3 is executed, or else condition 4 is executed by the compiler. So it is a program to find maximum of 3 numbers using nested if else condition. So we have seen how to find maximum of 2 numbers, okay, but to find greatest among 2 numbers, but it is a program where we can find greatest among 3 numbers. So let me demonstrate this program by compilation. So now let me open this. So yeah, this is the code to find greatest among 2 numbers. So as we are going to find greatest among 2 numbers, so we have to declare 3 values. N1 stores the first value, N2 second value, N3 store the third value. So we are going to store 3 numbers in these 3 variables, N1, N2, and N3. So first comparing whether your first number is greater than your second number. If it is true, then we cannot say, just we are comparing only 2 numbers, and we cannot say, if the condition is true, then we cannot say that the first number is greater than both the second and third number. That greater number, first number, should also cross checked with this N3. So if it is true, then we can finalize that N1 is greater value among N2 and N3. Now if N1 is greater than N2, then the compiler evaluates N1, whether N1 is greater than or equal to N3 or not. If it is true, then N1 is the greatest value. If N1 is greater than or equal to N2, but N1 is not greater than N3, then it comes to else part, then it will display certainly third number is the greater value. If first value is not greater than your second value, then we are comparing second and third values. Then we can decide that if this condition is true, then your N2 is having the greater value, or else N3 will have the greater value. So now let me compile and check the output for this. So it is asking now enter 3 numbers. So I have entered now -5, 23, and 14 are the 3 values. So among these 3 numbers, so 23 is the largest value. So we got an correct output. So this works fine. So now let me explain about else if ladder. So else if ladder is one of the conditional control flow statement, and it is used to make decision among multiple choices. So if you're having multiple choices among multiple options, how to select a better option, that can be done using this else if ladder. And the syntax is as follows: if condition 1 is true, then statement 1 is executed and all other conditions are ignored by the compiler. If condition 1 fails, then it comes to else part and checks the second condition. If it is true, this statement is executed, okay, and all other statements are executed. So in this way, if none of the condition works, then in this else if ladder we are having a default statement. If like this, we can write n number of conditions in this else if ladder. So if none of the condition is true, then it comes to the default statement, and the default statement is going to be evaluated by the compiler. So, and those are the keywords and everything. So we can have a condition 1, condition 2, condition 3 and condition n. For example, if condition 1 fails, condition 2 fails, then compiler checks condition 3. If it is true, statement 3 executed, and that's it. The program is going to be the compiler will not check any other condition. So in this way, else if ladder works. So now we'll see this is the control flow of this else if ladder. Condition 1 is true, then statement 1 is executed, okay. That's it, it comes to an end. When condition 1 fails, then compiler evaluates condition 2. If it is true, statement 2 is evaluated, then there is an end, okay. And if condition 2 fails, so in this way we can check we can write n number of conditions. If any one of the condition is not true, then the statement which is evaluated is the default statement. So now we are going to demonstrate a simple program on this. It is an example of else if ladder statement, reading 3 subjects and finding the average, total and average, and finding whether the student has passed in distinction first class or second class. So to pass in distinction, if the average is greater than or equal to 75, then we can display the student has passed in distinction, and that's it. No other conditions are evaluated, okay. So if the average is greater than or equal to 75, we can display distinction. If the average is in between 60 to 75, we can display first class. Else if the average is greater than or if the average is in between 50 and 60, we can say the student has passed in second class, otherwise fail. So this is how all this if statement works. With this we'll end our video. Thank you. Yeah, dear students, so try to write these programs to find a number is even or odd using if else, and also try to write a program to find roots of quadratic equation. With this we'll end our video. Thank you for watching this video.